What's up, everybody? Swift here, breaking down the 14th training camp practice of the year for the Chicago Bears. Let's get right into it. This is a really short week for the Bears with only 3 days before Thursday night's game. So today was a light practice without pads. A couple of guys returned to practice, most notably Kyler Gordon and Velus Jones Jr. Also, Demo and Cole Kmet were seen on the sideline as well. Other guys who returned to practice were Angelo Blackson, Kendall Vildor, and James O'Shaughnessy. Guys who were missing today and probably just getting a day off were Jaquan Brisker, Doug Kramer, and then, of course, Roquan Smith was nowhere to be seen as well. I expect with only 4 days between games that the coaching staff takes it easy in practice the next couple of days. Justin Fields had another good day and connected with Darnell Mooney for 2 early touchdowns. Luke Getsy talked about working on his pocket awareness and footwork, that he saw Justin noticeably working on these things even in today's practice. Great to see coaches that actually understand what they are doing. It is so refreshing to hear Luke Getsy speak. He spoke specifically about how much work this team has been putting into situational football. Those are the kind of details that help teams win games. It's a game of inches, and the situational football, red zone, 2-minute, goal line, and third down situations in particular, teams need to be ready and have plays that work for them. It's part of establishing an identity and something we have failed at doing for years. Luke Getsy has been hard at work establishing an identity and putting players in the best position to succeed. I have been extremely impressed with what I have seen from him so far. He was also asked about Daz and how he responded after muffing the punt. He said nobody works harder than Daz. I love to hear that, as Daz Newsome is somewhat of a fan favorite for a lot of us on Twitter. We liked his potential last year, and he never really got a chance with Nagy. A lot of us are rooting for you, Daz. We hope you make the roster. Speaking of Daz Newsome, he had the best catch of the entire day today. It was on a play where Fields rolled out and threw it deep between a couple of defenders. Beautiful throw and catch, and easily the most impressive offensive play of the day. Fields also hit Mooney for a couple of touchdowns, and Trevor Siemian hit Dante Pettis for a nice touchdown as well. Kyler Gordon returned to practice today and worked exclusively at nickelback. He also spoke to the media about how excited he is to get on the field. He says he will be playing this Thursday versus Seattle, so we will have our first chance to see Kyler in just a couple of days. Velus Jones Jr. also talked to the media. He returned to practice as well, but did not answer if he would be playing on Thursday. But the fact that he returned to practice makes me optimistic. I really want to see both these guys on the field as soon as possible. Dominique Robinson got some reps with the first team today, opposite of Robert Quinn. The coaches obviously like what they saw from him. Also, I know you guys want to hear this, but Jack Sanborn was promoted to the second team and worked with the second team most of the day today. The defensive line had a great day, as Robert Quinn beat Braxton Jones multiple times. Him and Alquadine Muhammad were both seen in the backfield multiple times today. Travis Gibson and Dominique Robinson, and even Nicholas Morrow all made plays in the backfield today. And then we have a couple of updates on the offensive line. With Doug Kramer setting out practice today, it was Dieter Iceland getting all the second team work at center, with rookie Zachary Thomas getting the third team work. We also have a pretty big update on Teven Jenkins. He spent the entire day at right guard. He worked with the second and third team unit at right guard. I thought Tev had a pretty good game on Saturday, but he did get called for an illegal block downfield and gave up 2 pressures. I don't think moving Tev to guard is necessarily a bad thing. When we drafted him last year, I read a lot of scouting reports that said Tev would be a good right tackle, but he had the potential to be an elite guard at the NFL level. It's possible that this staff isn't a fan of his arm length and fit on the outside and wants to see him on the inside at guard. I think he has a chance to be a difference maker at the guard position and is still one of the most talented offensive linemen on our roster. There was a rep recorded by Chicago Bears Connection today where you can see Tev own his defender. They tried to use a stunt play, but Tev shut it down. The other noticeable part of the rep is that he is the only guy on that entire line who blocks his guy, and everyone else loses their man in the backfield. He clearly has a lot of talent to work with, and it wouldn't make sense for the coaches to give up on him yet. There have been a ton of college tackles who move inside to guard in the NFL and have loads of success. Speaking of his fit at guard in the NFL, I saw a tweet from John Campolo where he pulled up an RAS comparison of Tevin Jenkins and Quentin Nelson. Let's just throw that up on the screen and take a nice, long, hard look at it. Now, I want to be clear that I'm not comparing Tev to Nelson. Seeing his RAS score at guard, though, and how it compares to a guy who is probably the best guard in the entire league, it's nice to see, and it fits my evaluation and that of others that even though I think Tev can be a really good right tackle in this league, he might be even better inside at guard. One thing I like about Tev's game at guard is he can really use his power. I think he's one of the guys on this line who can really generate a push in the run game for us. So I would like to see him make his way to the starting lineup no matter what position it's at. The Bears wrap up with one more practice tomorrow before flying out to Seattle on Wednesday and then playing Thursday night. Also of note, the Bears have to trim the roster down to 85 players by tomorrow. They have already released Carson Taylor, but 4 more players will have to be released by tomorrow as well. Stay tuned, as this week should be jam-packed with excitement. We have another practice. We have tons more news possibly coming out this week, followed by a Thursday night game against the Seattle Seahawks. You know, I'll be breaking down that game with a pregame video and a postgame video. Be sure to stay tuned for that. I appreciate everyone who watches these videos. Stay tuned. Be sure to hit that like button for me. And until next time, bear down.